Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, c'est un plaisir. Je vous présente Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau.
Merci Anthony, ça fait tellement plaisir d'être de retour ici. Je suis venu à North Bay juste il y a peut-être 6 mois. On avait eu une rencontre extraordinaire et comme beaucoup de gens me rappellent, tu disais que tu n'allais pas te présenter pour la chefferie. I know last time I was here only 6 months ago, I was still firm in my decision that perhaps it wasn't the best idea for me to run for the leadership right now. And that wasn't an easy decision for me to take in the first place, because I do love my country and wanted to serve it, but it was also an equally difficult decision to go back on. And to realize that, yes, I needed to be a good dad, and a good dad is someone who is there for his kids, to tuck them in, and to read them bedtime stories as often as he possibly can. But like so many young people in my generation, I also know that being a good dad means providing for them in the best ways you can. And you know, our work takes us away to the cities, takes us across the country, gets us out on the road, all different ways, and we're having to try and figure out how to be the best parents we can, dealing with the requirements of the jobs that we have. And I realized that there is something that I'm pretty good at, and that's politics. And that's bringing people together to understand that politics is something that is important, that it matters that we get involved, that it matters that we expect and demand more from our political system. And unfortunately, at this time when we're facing massive challenges on economy, on environment, on social justice, on human rights, across the country and around the world, people are disengaging from politics. On a un niveau de cynisme envers la politique qui est du jamais vu au Canada. On a toujours été un pays optimiste, un pays qui regardait l'avenir avec confiance, qui savait qu'on allait pouvoir bâtir quelque chose dont on allait être fier. C'est ça qui a bâti ce pays. Nos ancêtres, qui soient arrivés il y a 1 ou 2 générations, une dizaine de générations, ou bien des générations de plus pour nos Premières Nations, sont arrivés ici avec la même expérience. On arrive dans un pays trop grand, trop vide, et trop froid, trop de mois de l'année. Mais on a appris à travailler. On a appris à s'entraider. On a appris qu'on pouvait bâtir quelque chose qui allait laisser plus d'opportunités à nos enfants que nous avions eu. And that's been the secret to Canada from the very beginning. That every generation worked hard and created opportunities for the next greater than they had received from their parents. And steadily, generation after generation, we've built ourselves an extraordinary country, the likes of which the world has never seen, with incredible resources, with incredible opportunities to reach south, east, and west, but also with an extraordinary people who've understood that success in this land comes from being there for each other, comes from building on strong communities and helping out. The problem is the promise of this country, the very premise around which it's built, that you can work hard and create opportunities for your kids, is under siege. And the fact that we are struggling with this has allowed us to get incredibly cynical and divisive in our political approaches. It's under siege because the reality is, even though over the past 30 years the Canadian economy has more than doubled in size, that growth has less and less been shared by the majority of Canadians who work hard to create it. Our middle class, which has always been the strength of this country, people who work hard day in and day out to create a life, to create a community, to create opportunities for their kids, are not doing so well. We're facing incomes that have stagnated over the past generation. We're facing costs that are rising and personal and household debts that are exploding. And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if a family has full-time work. They find themselves, as far too many Canadians do, in the line at a food bank at the end of the month, relying on the Christmas baskets that come in over the next week. They really consider themselves to be doing well, to be part of this middle class? Not so much. And that has allowed us to therefore, because of this uncertainty, be pointed against each other. Whereas we used to be a country, and can once again be a country that is strong not in spite of its differences, but because of those differences, we now have the politics of difference and of division holding sway. Monsieur Harper comprend très bien qu'on peut faire des gains politiques en divisant anglais contre français, est contre ouest, les villes contre les régions rurales. Il y a toujours une façon, dans les moments d'insécurité, des moments d'incertitude économique, de trouver une façon de blâmer l'autre, de pointer l'autre du doigt, de polariser une population, de nous convaincre de voter contre quelqu'un plutôt que de voter pour celui qu'on apprécie. Et M. Harper a pu nous convaincre qu'on devrait se mettre à s'attendre de beaucoup moins de notre gouvernement, de nos politiciens. On est rendu à un niveau de cynisme qui ne s'accroît, qui ne cesse de s'accroître, surtout que maintenant le NPD a choisi de poursuivre un petit peu la même route avec M. Mulcair, avec ses propos s'attaquant économiquement contre l'Alberta, s'attaquant contre quiconque aurait un peu de succès. C'est pas ces politiques de division, c'est pas l'appui pour la déclaration de Sherbrooke qui dit qu'on peut diviser le pays avec 50% des voix plus un, même si la majorité des Canadiens refusent cette idée. Nous avons deux partis maintenant qui sont prêts à jouer le même jeu, à encourager d'être contraires, à décourager les compromis.